And now I'm very pleased to present Maple Gold Mines, an advanced exploration company in a 50-50 joint venture with Agnico Eagle Mines Limited to jointly advance the district-scale Douay and Joutel gold projects located in Quebec's prolific Abitibi Greenstone gold belt. Here to tell you more about these great projects is Matthew Hornor, President and CEO. Matthew, the stage is yours. It'll be on when you get here.
Gotcha. Morning. Thank you. Morning, everybody. Right. So we have a few minutes to talk this morning about what we're doing up just a bit north from here. My name is Matthew Hornor. I'm the President and CEO of Maple Gold Mines. Give you a few seconds to read that. I think just a bit of an overview of what we're doing and why we're doing it. We're located in the Abitibi Greenstone Belt. Some of our key points to why we're a better name, and I think some of these points are obvious for those sitting in the audience, given that we're in Quebec. Location is very important. Recently, Quebec was rated maybe number 6 in the world. I think it'd be, in my mind, maybe number 3 in the world or higher, given all the benefits that you have here to operating. So we have a great location. We have an established resource, a high-grade past-producing mine that was contributed through the combination with Agnico Eagle, and we have capital in hand and a great partner. Just to orient you to where we are at the moment, we are sitting just to the east of Hecla and Galway, to the west of Veza, which was a past producer, to the north of Abcourt, and to the south of all the Wallbridge operations. We're close to Val-d'Or and Matagami, and you can see the blue area here is the land that we contributed to the joint venture when we combined with Agnico Eagle. They contributed the Joutel project in the yellow. So we're sitting on 55 kilometers of strike on the Casa Berardi deformation zone, as you can see. There's the deformation zone north and the deformation zone south. Some of the nice things that Agnico said when they announced their deal with Kirkland Lake, they mentioned us in the press release, and I don't know how to get back from that. 400 square kilometer land package, 3 million ounce resource on one side, and a past producing high grade project, which actually they started back in 1974 and mined until 1993. I'll talk about that just now. Some of the similarities that they and we saw with our Douay project in Canadian Malartic are outlined here. The age of the rock, the footprint itself, quite similar, about 6 kilometers by 2 kilometers, so we're talking about a very large system. And different from Malartic, of course, is that we don't have a town to move. We still have the ounces to go through to get down deep, and we have incredible upside on exploration. So here's an example of the shallow nature of the existing resources that we're sitting now on Douay. As you can see up here, we have about 350 meters average depth compared to some of the other very, very profitable projects near us. Of course, Malartic is 2,000 meters deep, largest in Canada. Casa Berardi, Goldex, and of course Telbel, which is the project that we now control. We have additional deep drilling planned this year, which I'll get into towards the end of the presentation. Why are we going deep? Well, I think this kind of sums it up. What they found as an extension of the Malartic on East Goldie was quite impressive. 6.4 million ounces at high grade. That's just the beginning. I think it's probably going to double from there. So the type of rock that's found in is the SEDS, and we think that there's something similar to be found as we go elephant hunting below some of these conceptual pits that were put together by RPA. So that's Douay. I'm going to move on to the Eagle Telbel project found in the Joutel mine complex. This is what it looked like when it shut down in 1993 when Agnico made the wise decision to go off and build LaRonde. As you can see, the above-ground infrastructure is all complete. Now all of this has been reclaimed, of course, but this is a photograph that represents what happened back when Agnico Mines Limited acquired Eagle Gold Mines and formed its current name, Agnico Eagle. So it is actually their namesake or part of it. We compiled this 3D model based on 250,000 meters of drill data that was never digitized. So when we put this into the meat grinder, we had a bunch of millennials in a glass box for 10, 11 months with pizza and coffee. They put this 3D model together, which showed some quite impressive historical drill data. Now we're talking on the Talbell side and the Eagle side. Now Maple Gold has this area 100%, and historically they started mining on this end, the northwest, and they drifted towards the southeast. And the plums you see here is what they mined out, the high grade. We think the trend here is quite impressive because it shows what we like to call the pearls on a string formation or trend, and this down here is yet to be tested. It was never tested by them in 1993. You have to remember that they were a much smaller company back then, about a $20 million market cap, and they had capital allocation decisions to make. They never tested anything down here below these hits. And when we're talking about what these look like, this is very small. I expect no one will be able to read these from the back of the room. But 15 meters of 5 grams, 4 meters of 12, 13 meters of 10, this is what's represented here. Nothing below here was ever tested. And this is 80-gram rock on this side. So we'll be testing some deeper holes through this area and this area this year with the support of our partners. And at the moment, we're having a drill campaign test some of the areas to just underneath the former Eagle shaft. Some of those results came out this morning and show that we're actually in some of the interesting rock there. But we were chasing some very high-grade areas here that were never followed up on, just to take a couple 5 meters of 9 grams, 10 meters of 10 grams, et cetera. And the vision here is that we believe there to be quite considerable more resources below this area. And I think that if we're right, and I think we will be, it'll be quite transformative. As you probably know, it's much better to build a mine in the shadow of a head frame, as they say, because building in the air is much easier than building in the dirt. And of course, again, as we get into this and we extend the resource area significantly, we can build from here. We'll have to dewater some of that underground working, but it'll give us an incredible head start as we try to get this thing back underway. Here's an example of some of the deeper holes we're going after on both sides. A few weeks ago, we put out a press release co-authored between us and our partners. We've increased the budget to $4.8 million. This is a year 2 joint venture project. It's going to go after about another 10,000 meters of drilling. Just to give you an overview, this year we plan to drill about 30,000 meters. So the news is going to be coming out frequently from now until year's end. The 4 to 6 holes are expected in the deeper area to go down to about 2,000 meters to test almost where Malartic is operational. And we're going to have a lot of learnings along the way as we go through some of this strata, some of these horizons here. That's on the Douay side. On the Talbell side, as I mentioned, you can see here some of the planned holes are going to test what's below here, which they never tested in the past. We think that's going to be quite a kind of quantum leap style exploration. The approach we're taking is two-pronged. One is to expand the existing resource and upgrade the existing resource of 3 million ounces, so increase that number, because we'll get paid on that, presumably, as we go down to find what they have, similar to what they have over nearby. and also look for some discovery-type exploration. So discovery does not just mean outside the resource area, but also, in this case, far below, because I'm sure that you're all aware that in the Abitibi, thematically, grades tend to increase impressively as you go deeper and get larger. So we're following on the footsteps of the experience from the operators all around us and the producers all around us, and we think that that's a great way to approach it. So some upcoming milestones and recent milestones. Of course, we signed the definitive agreement in earlier this year or last year. We had the initial JV drilling. We acquired 100% of the Eagle project already. We finished the digitization work, as I mentioned. We've consolidated some inlier claims, cleaned up some of the ground. We've updated the Douay mineral resource estimate, which expanded across the boards and increased some of the inferred, measured, indicated. We had put out some of the results from last year, and we approved the budget, as I just mentioned. We've completed the 5,000 meters of the drill campaign of phase 1 of Eagle, which the results of that came out this morning. 7,000 meter drill program of Douay is being completed. The results of that will be coming out momentarily. Next up is the MGM survey results. We ran some MGM over the western flank of our very large land package to test also some base metal VMS type targets. So we expect that to come out soon. And then, of course, we have the winter drill results from Eagle and Douay coming out later this year, and the additional deep drilling results soon, too. A word on our cap structure. One of the things that I can say it's very proud of is that when I first got involved 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, we didn't have any institutional support. I don't even think the case was a part of our story, which is impressive given where we're located. But since then, through a lot of hard work and a great team effort, we've been able to get the support of some great names, including, of course, Agnico, Fidelity, Goodman, Delbrück, and the Case, which is kind of the Quebec group of funds. If they're behind you and you're in this part of the world, you have really a shot of getting somewhere. So I just might mention that with Agnico, it was only after about 2 years of diligence by them of our project and many hours of negotiations that we came to an agreement with them to form this alliance to try to build something big and something very special in this part of the world. So we're sitting now on about $20 million in cash. We have another 14 out of the 18 and a quarter to be spent yet on the project that's funded by Agnico. If we go above that, we spend 50-50. And we have some additional warrants that may or may not be exercised to come into the system. Some bright, shiny faces on the screen here. Mine, but also Fred Schbeidel, he's in the audience, and Gerald Riverin, also two iconic geos from the space. I'm very happy to have them here joining me at this conference. They've both worked together in the past at Invent First Quantum, both at least bilingual. I think Fred is quadrilingual, French, English, Spanish, and German. They bring an incredible amount of technical skills to this project. Fred was recruited by myself and David Broughton, somebody with whom I worked at Ivanhoe. My past, my mining history dates back to the Ivanhoe world when I was working with Robert for many, many years, helping him align strategic capital for a lot of the projects around the planet, Mongolia, DRC, and elsewhere. And so Dave and I joined forces to recruit Fred, and he brought on Gerald, and so I think we have an incredibly gifted technical team now to support what we're doing in the area. Of course, we have a camp now set up there, a 45-person camp that's been built and operational, and there's quite a nice video on our website that gives you a virtual site tour if you care to take a minute to take a look. Maurice Tagami is a VP Operations with Wheaton Precious Metals, fabulous human being with whom I've worked for the last 5 years. Michelle Roth is in New York City because we have aspirations to get bigger and grow the platform and, of course, uplist to different markets. And so strategically, she's there. She also is one of the most fantastic human beings I've met. Jonas Lang and Kieran Patenka have been in the mining space for quite some time, Kieran Hales from Macquarie, and has been part of this world for a long time as well. So that's kind of the team, give you an idea as to where we all come from. Betting on the jockeys, I think, is usually a good idea, so long as you have some of these other things going for you. And so I'll leave you with some of these boxes that I think we check, things to think about with any mining investment, ours or anybody else. Location, resource, capital, partners, and support. In our case, we're in the Abitibi, and Abitibi has already produced, just a trivial kind of a factoid, 200 million ounces or plus to date has already been produced. I think people estimate there's about 300 million ounces yet to be produced in the Abitibi. So again, one of my favorite places anywhere to operate. We're sitting on 3 million ounces. We have this high-grade past producer, really yet to be daylit. The value of the Eagle Talbell project really hasn't really seen the light of day or been well understood for about 30 years. So it's going to be a lot of fun to bring that back out to light and show really what the value of that is for our company. Of course, Agnico is our partner. I don't need to spend any time talking about why they're so great. The team all comes from other large mining operations. We have capital in hand, of course. We're very, very happy to have the support of all of our institutional owners. That's it. I'll pause now and end and see if there's any questions that anybody has. I invite you to take a look at the press release from this morning. And yes, go.
I'm right behind you.
Yes.
Do we have any questions from the audience this morning? It's a very quiet audience.
Very quiet.
Today. Very quiet.
You got me up at 4:30 in the morning, Vancouver time. So I feel like I'm still sleeping, but that's okay.
I hear you. Matt and his team are here, so if anyone wants to meet with him or ask them questions, they will be around for the rest of the conference. Matthew, thank you so much.
Thanks for your time. Have a good day.
Thank you for your support.